Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Ballistic Barbecue. Cooking with bourbon today. Stick around. Alright, this is the star of today's show. Four Roses Single Barrel Bourbon. This stuff, I was introduced to it a few weeks ago and I was amazed at how smooth and mellow it is. And again, it got those wheels turning in my head. I needed to cook with it, needed to do a video. This was the actual hook. I went to their website and I looked at the tasting notes. Okay, nose, fruity, spicy, floral, cocoa, maple syrup, moderately woody, screaming outdoor cook. Palate, hints of ripe plum and cherries, robust, full-bodied, mellow. Again, it just sounds like a really good sauce. Finish, smooth, and delicately long. So, I actually did some tinkering with this about a week ago, and I came up with something that I am going to share with you guys. You're going to really like this. What I'm going to do is make a gourmet hamburger, and I'm going to elevate the whole thing simply with the use of premium ingredients. I'm not going to do anything real fancy. We're keeping it basic, but we're using the best. Again, this really good bourbon. I am pairing this with ribeye steak, and I'm going to grind this USDA prime ribeye. It's been dry aged. Again, it just pairs so well with this bourbon. Now, I wanted a cheese with my burger, and the cheese that pairs best with bourbon is an aged Gouda. So this is what I picked up. This is an aged Gouda from the Netherlands. Now, this has actually been aged for 4 years. 4 years. And it's really good. It has sort of a butterscotch finish to it, and again, it pairs beautifully with this bourbon. Now, the thing about aged cheese, however, is it's very hard. It's a lot harder than unaged cheese. So what I'm going to do is take a cheese plane and I'm going to shave this cheese into thin slices so it'll actually melt on my burger. As far as the bourbon's concerned, what I'm going to do is make what I'm going to call a jam. And I'm going to make it with the bourbon, onion, a few seasonings, and then this. This is my homemade wet cured bacon, and it's been smoked with applewood. It's really good, and it goes great, you know, with this type of reduction. That's actually why I made these bacons here. As far as the bread's concerned, I'm using this. This is a freshly baked, it was baked this morning, brioche. And the brioche is going to go very well with the cheese, and it's a no-brainer for the beef. So, let's get going. We're going to start off with that reduction. Okay, so I have the saucepan heated up. I have, I don't know, half a cup or so of that diced bacon. And we're going to get this rendered down. So as you can see, bacon is getting nice and rendered. This is one medium-sized white onion that I've chopped. Get it in there, and I just sliced it and then sliced them in half, and I'm just going to get them all broken up. And I'm going to saute these onions until they begin to caramelize. Okay, as you can see, onions are really nice and caramelized. I'm going to go ahead, turn off the heat, add that bourbon. So this is 1.5 cups of that bourbon. I'm going to carefully add it in. And obviously I turned the flame off. I don't want this to flambe on us. Okay, now I'm going to turn the flame back on. About a medium heat. In the meantime, I have here a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. I want to get a little acid going here. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. This will add a little sweetness and also help with the texture for the finished sauce. I'm going to add this, and this is coriander seed. I've had concern in the past. People have mentioned, well, it's going to be all crunchy. No. You put it in early and it's going to get nice and soft, and it adds a flavor that just, it's a very unique flavor. It adds these reductions. And that was a teaspoon of the coriander seed. And I have about a teaspoon of dried mustard powder. Nice healthy pinch of some crushed red pepper just to give just a little bit of heat. A couple pinches of kosher salt. What I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil now and then reduce it to a simmer. Okay, so while that bourbon, onion, bacon jam is reducing on my stovetop, I'm going to go ahead and form those beef patties. Now, after grinding the ribeye, I placed it in a glass bowl and put it in the fridge to let it chill, which is actually a fairly important step. It forms better while the beef is a little bit chilled. So I'm going to make some nice, decent, thick patties here. This is definitely over 1/3 of a pound. Those brioche buns aren't too big as far as the diameter is concerned, so I'm going to make up for it in thickness. It makes nice thick patties here. And there we have it, guys. Now what I'm going to do is continue making patties, and then I'm going to place them in the fridge. Again, I like to work with this hamburger meat when it's a little chilled. It just helps it hold together better once it hits that hot grill. See you in a bit. Okay, so the bourbon jam's done, letting it cool now. The grill is fired up and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and season these beef patties here, this ground ribeye. First thing I'm going to do, again, I'm keeping it simple, but I'm elevating it. I have here salt, sea salt that I smoked. I actually smoked this last night with some almond wood, and very easy to do. I usually do things like this after I'm done with a regular cook. Just threw the salt on a nice mesh and let it smoke for a few hours. It's a good way of adding a little bit of smoky flavor to anything, actually. So hit that with some of that smoked salt and some good old ground black pepper. There we go. Okay, once these hit the grill, I'll season the other side of the patties. I will meet you outside. All right, guys, so the grill is ready to go. I am burning lump oak here, and it is nice and hot. I also have a cool zone right here, just in case these things start getting a little bit out of hand. So, like I said, it's seasoning side down right now. I'm going to go ahead and season the raw side. Oh, that smoked sea salt. Awesome black pepper. Beautiful, beautiful crust on these guys. Let's check that out. Very juicy. Patties are getting close, so I'm going to go ahead and add this aged Gouda cheese. All right, as you can see, this thinly shaved Gouda is coming along nicely. I'm going to go ahead and pull the burgers and put them off to the side. Okay, next we have the brioche rolls, and my decision is this reduction I made, that jam, is going to be able to carry the whole load. It's got a lot of flavor packed in there. I don't want to overdo it or confuse things with mustard and all that. So what I'm going to do is just simply put some butter on these and toast them up. I have some melted butter here. All right, so nice toast on these brioche buns, and it smells really good. We're ready to make some burgers. I'll meet you inside. All right, guys, we are ready to assemble this Four Roses bourbon burger. So first thing I'm going to do is on the bottom of this bun is lay out some baby arugula. And I like this on a burger because it's just got a really nice peppery flavor. It's just something different, you know, something away from the norm when you get a burger at a burger joint. Next thing, again, trying to step this up a notch, I have here heirloom tomato. And this is you know, there's different color heirlooms, different shapes. This one has kind of that purplish hue to it, really cool looking. And here's that beautiful burger. And this jam. Now, that right here, this is a half a cup. This is everything that I reduced, so it's a true jam. And the bacon in here. I could eat just a bowl of this, to be honest with you. And that toasted brioche. There we are, guys. Beautiful, beautiful burger. I'm going to give this a shot. Guys. First of all, the beef tastes killer, of course. I mean, prime ribeye. But that bourbon reduction, the bourbon does not get lost at all. I mean, it pops. But it's a really, really just a beautiful, beautiful flavor. Just such complex flavors. And that's one of the reasons why I love cooking with, you know, distilled spirits, is you can achieve flavors you can't get in the spice cabinet. You can't. And I just love this. Love this. Wow. I'm very happy with this, guys. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.